should you buy this Huawei P30 Pro in 2020? This is the Huawei P30 Pro, and it's such a beautiful phone. So this is the last Huawei, the last flagship that Huawei made that has Google services on it. It's such a good phone. It has amazing cameras. At the back, it has 4 cameras. And you know what? It can actually do, I think, 50x zoom and 10x the optical zoom. So this is actually a very good phone itself. As I'm sure you are aware, America has banned all trade with Huawei. And because Google is based in America, Huawei can no longer have Google services on their new Huawei devices. So this is the last one, guys, that you can get with Google services on it. So let's review it and look at what this phone has to offer. So first of all, it has this aura blue gradient at the back, and it's a fingerprint magnet, as you can see, but you know what? It looks good. It has all the buttons on one side, and at the back, it's got the Leica lens, 4 cameras, has a flash. The camera on this is very good, one of the best cameras out there. At the bottom, we have the charging Type-C. We also have the speaker at the bottom and the SIM area. And at the top, we have the IR blaster. That's to like change channels and, you know, use your phone like a remote, which I like. And it has an extra microphone, and that's used for noise isolation. So when you're recording audio, it removes the background noise on there. So yeah, this phone is beautiful. On the front, we have an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is quick. We also have the camera at the top, which can do face unlocking as well. But I like how small it is. I hate the notch, but on this phone, because it's so tiny, you can barely see it. So this is good. So let's look at the specs of this phone. So this phone has the Huawei Silicon Kirin 980 chip. It's a bit old now, but it's still fast on this phone. Huawei optimized this phone to make it fast, so when you use this phone, it's about a year old, but it's still very quick. It has 8 gigs of RAM, which is overkill for a phone. That's like laptop level for a phone. So this is 128 gigabytes of storage, so it's not too bad. It's actually overkill. The display diagonally is 6.47 and it's an OLED, which is good. You know, I think OLED right now is the best display out there. So this, as you can see, has an OLED screen, 1080 by 2340, and it's 24-bit. So that's the specs. And the battery in here, it has a 4200 milliamp battery in here. So it's a really good phone. So now let's compare this with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. This phone, I'm gonna review it, so subscribe to see this review. And these phones are very similar in terms of how they look and how they feel, except this is more premium. So let's just do Geekbench 5 just to see which phone is faster and better. So let's run this at the exact same time. All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. So these two are now finished. So we can see here that on the Huawei P30 Pro, it got a single score of 692, and the Samsung got a much higher score of 745. But in the multi-core score, we can see that here the Huawei got 270, and the beautiful, amazingly sexy looking ass Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G got a score of a little bit less than this. So I think this all goes down to the chip that's in here. So for example, here we have on the Huawei, we have the Kira 980, as I said before. And in here, we have we have the ARM V8. So it's a very different processor in here. And we can see, if you look at this has 4 cores, 2 cores, and 2 cores in the first, second, and third cluster. Whereas this has the same as well. But the gigahertz are a little bit different. So in the Huawei, we get 180 on the first one, then 192, then 260. Whereas here we get 195, then we get here 240, and we get here 273. So in these 3 clusters, we can clearly see that that's why the Samsung got a much higher single core score, but the Huawei had a much faster multi-core score. So in terms of which phone is better, I would say these phones are both fast in various different ways. For multitasking, the Huawei is faster, but for just using one app and using certain little things on it, the Samsung's a bit faster. So these phones are actually very similar. Let's go into more detail on the score as well, so we can see. So yeah, just the main comparison, this is a lot better. Compared to the average for the Huawei P30 Pro, we're actually above average. The normal score is 684, and here we got 690. So with time, with updates, it actually gets faster. Whereas compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G, doesn't show the comparison, but obviously with time, Samsung's the score goes lower based upon usage. So for long-term use, the Huawei is better. If we go on the multi-core score, we get the same thing. With updates, the phone gets better. And here we can see that it's actually not that good. To be fair, if we look at other comparisons, we can see that currently the Huawei P30 Pro has about the same score as the Xiaomi Redmi K20 Pro. Surprisingly, actually. And to be fair, the Galaxy Note Plus, the Note 10 Plus, normally gets a score of 2,504, whereas here it's actually a lot less. So I think this has to do with the chip that's in here. Normally Samsung makes 2 chips, and this has the weaker chip than the better one. That's why the score is a bit lower. But yeah, in my conclusion, should you buy this Huawei P30 Pro in 2020? You know what? I'm gonna say yes. Let's forget about, the fact that you can't get any new Huawei P40 Pro, 50 Pro, but this phone on its own is good, In-display fingerprint scanner. Of course, this one has the ultrasonic and that has the optical, but just as a phone itself, it's beautiful. It's fast, it will last long, it gets updates, and you know what? I trust Huawei. I really do. They're a good company, and I feel that even this phone on its own, the cameras alone are beautiful. The way it sounds is beautiful. The screen looks amazing. Get this phone. You should all buy it. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, peace.